You know it's going to be a wild year when even the old heads at the range are buzzing about new rifles. 2025's lineup isn't just fresh, it's full of rifles we've actually been waiting on, and some of these might just change what you're carrying, building, or dreaming about. Fellow preppers, this is Luke from Ant Prepper, and today we're getting into the new rifles hitting in 2025 that folks actually give a damn about. But before we dive in, do me a solid. Hit that like and subscribe button. Those clicks help keep this channel alive and let me keep bringing real-world gear reviews to preppers, survivalists, and anyone just trying to make it through the madness out there. Now, let's get into it. Bishop Firearms AR-45 TC Tabitha. You don't see many brand new rifles in 2025 that actually surprise you, but the Bishop AR-45 TC did just that. Not because it's loud or tactical, but because someone finally had the guts to build an AR-style carbine in. 45 ACP that isn't just a parts bin mashup. This thing's engineered from the ground up, built in Idaho, and you can feel the difference the second you shoulder it. First off, it's not polymer heavy or cheap feeling. The upper and lower are both billet aluminum. The side charger is a non-reciprocating unit from Gibbs Arms. The barrel? A 16-inch stainless EV5, capped with a 5-port brake that looks like a nod to the old Tommy guns but tuned for actual recoil control. Even the trigger is Bowden-made, clean and crisp, right around 4.5 pounds. Now the real standout, that wood. We're talking laminated hardwood or walnut, shaped tight to the lower and foregrip. You've got M-lock underneath and a short pick rail out front if you want to run irons or a mini dot. It runs Glock mags, and it runs them flawlessly. Sub 1-inch groups at 50 meters with 230 grain match loads? That's what the rifle's built to do. And it's not just marketing fluff. Price lands at $1,900, and yeah, every bit of that shows up in your hands. If you're looking for a 2025 release that's unique, functional, and not just another AR clone with a paint job, this one deserves real attention. Next up, Heckler & Koch, Mr. 556A4. When I got my hands on the new Heckler & Koch MR 556A4, it was clear right away this wasn't just another piston AR dressed in marketing. This thing is built off the same DNA as the HK 416, the rifle that's been in the hands of Delta, SEALs, and other top-tier units for years. What makes the MR 556A4 one of the best rifles to watch for in 2025 isn't nostalgia, it's execution. It's a true fighting rifle, trimmed down, refined, and now built stateside in partnership with HK's Columbus, Georgia facility. This version finally feels tuned for civilian hands without stripping away its military backbone. The 16.5-inch cannon-grade hammer-forged barrel ditches chrome lining for raw steel, and HK backs it with a lifetime guarantee. It's paired with a short-stroke gas piston system that vents excess pressure forward and keeps the receiver clean, especially if you're running suppressed. You've got a fully ambidextrous lower, including bolt catch, divided by release, mag release, and 45-degree safety selectors, all framed with textured fencing. The new M-lock handguard drops weight without flexing under pressure, and the steel barrel nut acts as a heat sink during longer strings. Little things add up. The takedown pin tensioner eliminates wiggle, the enlarged trigger guard gives solid gloved access, and the gas block adjusts without tools. Even the 2-stage trigger breaks crisp at 5 pounds. HK even reworked the stock and castle nut for drop survivability. In terms of accuracy, this one was dead on. I was printing 1.5-inch groups at 100 yards with Black Hills and Hornady under an EOTech XPS2 with a G33 magnifier. At $3,929, this is not your average shelf AR. This is for shooters who want duty-grade reliability with zero compromise. If your next rifle needs to survive the long haul and keep pushing hard, suppressed, or dirty, this one's a serious contender. Smith & Wesson Model 1854 Stealth Hunter. Smith & Wesson didn't just dip a toe into the lever game with the Model 1854 Stealth Hunter. They cannonballed into it with full intention. I spent a few days on a hunt in Texas with this rifle, and it's one of the few modern lever guns that feels like it was designed by someone who actually shoots them. This isn't a nostalgic nod to the Old West. It's a blacked-out, suppressor-ready, MLOK-equipped 44 Magnum, built for folks who want a fast-handling rifle that can take a beating and still run smooth. The 16.3-inch barrel is short, but it's accurate and hits hard. Mine printed 1.35-inch groups at 100 yards with Hornady's 300-grain XTPs using a loopholed VXR scout scope. The barrel is stainless, armor night treated, and threaded 11 divided by 1/6 by 2/4, right from the factory. The composite stock is textured and tough, and that aluminum forearm with M-lock slots is the kind of modern touch that makes it practical without losing its identity. It has got a flat-face trigger that breaks clean at 4 pounds, a removable magazine tube for safe unloading, and a rail that runs the top with a built-in aperture rear sight. What stood out to me wasn't just how it performed on deer, but how it handled suppressed with 44 Special. Running subsonics with a can turned this carbine into one of the quietest repeaters I've shot. No feeding issues, no weird malfunctions, just clean, reliable cycles and soft recoil that made follow-ups easy. At $1,399, this thing isn't meant to sit on a display rack, it's built to be carried, loaded, and trusted. If your idea of a lever gun leans more toward the practical than the pretty, the 1,854 Stealth Hunter makes a strong case. Let's jump into something with a bit more reach and a whole lot more velocity. Watchtower Firearms Bridger. Most rifles built for serious mountain work cut weight by stripping down. The Bridger by Watchtower Firearms does the opposite. It cuts nothing. It just does everything smarter. I took it into the Utah backcountry during a late-season elk scout, and it never once felt like a showpiece trying to be a field gun. It's purpose-built, but also engineered like someone took a custom rifle builder, a metallurgist, and a math nerd, locked them in a shop, and told them to build one rifle to rule elevation, distance, and recoil. The barrel caught my eye first, not just because of its titanium jacket, but the geometry. They based it on Fibonacci harmonics, which tells that this thing is the real deal. It's a 22-inch 5R stainless core, jacketed in titanium for rigidity and heat dispersion. Shot groups stayed consistent even after a full day of shooting up canyon walls in 30-degree wind. The Bridger's 3-port titanium brake kept the 7mm PRC from beating me up, and yes, it's threaded 5 divided by 8 by 2/4 for when I brought out the suppressor. It's built on a lightened 416R stainless long action, tucked into a Macmillan Mountain Tracker carbon fiber stock, and the detail is wild. The stock is laser-etched with a historic trail map, like a subtle nod to Jim Bridger himself. It comes standard with Hawkins precision bottom metal, a 2.5-pound Timney Hunter Elite trigger, and a full H235 Cerakote finish. Empty, it weighed 6.8 pounds, but the way it balances off a tripod or over a boulder feels lighter. Every mechanical detail on the Bridger is clean, no wiggle, no lag. Everything locks, breaks, and cycles with precision. This isn't just a backcountry gun. It's a piece of engineering that actually belongs out there. Now let's pivot to a rifle that's built for close quarters. CZ USA Scorpion 3 Plus Magpul Edition. Magpul finally got its hands on the CZ Scorpion 3 Plus, and it shows. I've spent time behind a few different Scorpions over the years. Some bone stock, some modded into Frankenstein builds, but this new Magpul Edition is the first one that feels like it came straight out of the box the way it should have been built from the beginning. No part swapping, no tuning, just load it and go. The MOE Evo grip makes an immediate difference. It's got a better angle and solid TSP texture that actually feels planted in the hand, even after hours of shooting. The stock folds cleanly, adjusts for length without tools, and stays locked in tight. The cheek risers are pretty much practical, especially when you're running an optic with a bit more height. The MBUS sights are real sights, not placeholders. Add the 35-round PMag, and you're looking at a true plug-and-play PCC package. Controls are ambidextrous, easy to reach, and well thought out. The bolt catch and mag release mimic the AR layout without feeling forced. The 16-inch barrel is threaded and comes with a flash suppressor, which makes it suppressor-ready without needing an aftermarket wrench session. The M-lock handguard keeps things light and lets you mount what you need without crowding up the rail space. Weight sits right under 7 pounds. Folded down, the overall length is just 26.5 inches, which is compact enough to ride in a bag or rig up with a sling in a vehicle setup. MSRP sits at $1,499, and it honestly feels like you're getting a tuned build without paying for a gunsmith's labor. If you want a 9mm carbine that's built smart, runs clean, and doesn't need an ounce of work, this is it. Next up, Heckler & Koch G36 22LR. If you're the kind of shooter who grew up eyeing the G36 in old VHS footage or Call of Duty loadouts, the HK-G36 22LR dropping in 2025 is about to scratch a long overdue itch. I finally got my hands on the re-released version, and it's exactly the kind of rimfire rifle that makes sense in today's suppressed, ammo-conscious world. Built by Umarex and brought back under HK's official stamp, this thing isn't just a replica, it's a tuned-up rimfire trainer with better features and real utility. The heart of the new model is a blowback. 22 LR action inside a durable polymer shell, styled like the full-size G36. It's lightweight at just 6.74 pounds, and the threaded one divided by 2x2 8-barrel with a 4-pronged flash hider makes it suppressor-ready right out of the gate. That's a huge upgrade from the original 2010 seconds version that lacked modern compatibility. They also opened up support for 10, 20, and 30-round magazines, so whether you're plinking or running drills, you're covered. What I liked most was how well the rifle balances. It doesn't feel front-heavy or awkward, and the folding stock locks in tight with a solid cheek weld. You've got a Picatinny top rail, adjustable rear sight, and fixed front post. It's simple, functional, and fun. The gun also plays nice with original G36 accessories, which opens up all kinds of personalization for nerds like me who've wanted to build out a G36 lookalike without spending 5 figures. MSRP is $679, but I've seen them street for closer to $600, which feels fair for something that functions as both a training tool and range toy with serious curb appeal. And finally, Tikka T1x Ace Target. When I first dropped behind the Tikka T1x Ace Target, I wasn't thinking about brands or price tags, I was thinking about precision. And this thing delivered tight groups, no drama, no fighting the rifle. Just clean fundamentals and a rifle that tracks the way it's supposed to. Tikka clearly built this with serious rimfire shooters in mind, not hobby plinkers. The Ace Target comes chambered in either 22 LR or 17 HMR, and I ran the 22 version. It's built around a 20-inch cold hammer forged barrel, free-floated and threaded 1x2x2 which made it easy to run suppressed during a long session on steel silhouettes. The balance felt right. It sits neutral on bags, and offhand it didn't fight me. The twist rate is 1:1.6.5, perfect for the heavier match grade. 22 rounds I like to shoot. Trigger is a single-stage unit, fully adjustable from 2 to 4 pounds, and mine was set just under 2.5. Brake was crisp, zero over travel. The chassis is where this thing sets itself apart. You're getting an anodized aluminum skeleton stock that's fully adjustable for length of pull, cheek height, and recoil pad position. It fits like a custom stock once you've tuned it. The handguard includes M-LOK and Arca Swiss rail interfaces, which meant I could swap from bipod to tripod support with no tools. The 20 MOA pick rail, 45-degree bolt lift, and ambidextrous thumb rest round out the package. Its weight lands just over 8 pounds for the 22, which felt planted but not sluggish. Magazines are 10-rounders, detachable, and feed smoothly. MSRP will probably hover around the upper tier of rimfire rifles, but this one is built to stretch distance and sharpen fundamentals.